Let's see. Greetings, everybody. Greetings, everybody. I hope that you're doing well. Well, I'm back, and I feel better than today than I did yesterday. Man, let me tell you, ooh, it was that shit was wow. I was in the hospital for a whole week, and right now I do feel better. And I just want to say thanks to those who sent me the shout outs of the well, the gift card that I received. I want to just say to the brothers of the craft, sisters of the Order of the Eastern Star, thank you. I appreciate you. Man, it was just a crazy moment of being ill, just to bring you a little update in case you didn't know, I was in the hospital for about 5 days last week. And the pneumonia that I have left scarring on my lungs, and I have blood clots. So I do take medications for the blood clots. I got to take it for a little while, and hopefully pretty soon that will be I'll be done with that. I'll be done with that. So I'm looking forward to that, to be having it real soon. Looks like I'm kind of off a little bit, but we'll see. But anyway, I want to welcome you to the show today. Man, I got some stuff for you today. We're talking about today. We're going to talk about a few things. Let me break down just a couple of things real quick here that our topic is going to be about, and so we can get right into it real quick. I want to send a big shout out to brother Lewis out of Tennessee. Great brother, gave me a call, just wanted to know how I was doing, how the family was doing. Brother Morpheus hit me up. What you need, bro? Brother Stephen Jackson, I appreciate you. He's the one of the administrators in the group. It was crazy, but anyway, I got something for you today that's going to be very, very interesting. I hope that you're going to be able to enjoy. Let me get this down just a little bit more right there. I hope that's good. You're going to enjoy today's video, questions, whatever you want to call it. If you got something you want to ask, please put it in the chat. But today we're going to talk about entering the portals of Freemasonry and Order of the Eastern Star. Entering the portals. So I would say this, for those of you who look at Freemasonry as just a fraternity, just an organization, just something to belong to, I would tell you that you totally got it wrong. You totally got it wrong. And before I go any farther into that subject, I want to send a big shout out to Ralph Slaughter, the most puissant sovereign Grand Commander of the Prince Hall Southern Jurisdiction, progressive jurisdiction. He's just opening a new Grand Lodge in Oklahoma, Prince Hall Grand Lodge, Oklahoma. Now, there are 2 Grand Lodges in Oklahoma with the name of Prince Hall. Congratulations, Brother Randolph Slaughter. You're doing your thing. And you're daring anyone to question what you do, because you that guy. You that guy in the room. And it's so funny because I was reading some information that Slaughter was at a convention about a year ago, and he said, I've heard what you had to say about me. Now it's time for the elections. If anyone got to say anything, say it now. Nobody said a word. Slaughter's a bad boy. And Slaughter's a bad boy. That's all I gotta say. Greetings. What's up, Charles? How you doing? Slaughter is the Grand Master, the most pushful Prince Hall Grand Lodge out of Louisiana, New Orleans. And he's that guy. He's that he's that guy. He's not to be played with. And very down home guy, easy to talk to, but it looks like he's on some type of mission. So big shout out to Slaughter and the new Grand Lodge of the most wishful Prince Hall Grand Lodge of Oklahoma. If you don't believe me, I got receipts. But anyway, with that being said, we're going to get into today's show, entering the portals of Freemasonry in order of the Eastern Star. So now, I know I got some cowards on here, some people that want to just get into, have I met Slaughter? I have not. I've actually just had a brief conversation in regards to him by one of his members, and they have given me his phone number, told me I should reach out to him. So I am going to reach out to him there, Brother Charles, just to see what's going on. But back to the show, back to the conversation per se. So when you think of entering the portals of Freemasonry or the Eastern Star, now, like I said before, Daryl Yates, big thanks. I appreciate the shout out. Daryl Yates, thank you very much. Light Travel, appreciate it. Well, man, welcome back. Appreciate you. So with that being said, so as we begin to enter the portals of Freemasonry or the Eastern Star, I want you to consider this. Freemasonry and the Eastern Star is the beginning of your esoteric symbolism into a whole new portal, into a whole new realm of things. Now, this is going to lead into how does one summons his ancestors? How do you summon your ancestors? And we're going to talk about that too. So, yeah, we're going to talk. So as we begin this journey into Freemasonry, I want you to notice that in Freemasonry, you're going to enter a portal. So what is a portal? A portal is going through entering a place that you have yet to experience. That is a portal. So Freemasonry is that portal that you enter. You have two columns, one on the left, one on the right. So when you enter this portal, it is totally new to you. So you're coming from a dark place into a place of light of knowledge. Okay, just as it is in the Order of the Eastern Star. So when you enter the Order of the Eastern Star, it is not that you enter a portal like in Freemasonry, but you walk what they call the labyrinth. And in that labyrinth, it is reminding you of the stages of life. Okay, so those are the two differences, but yet the same process. So as you begin this journey as a member of the Order of the Eastern Star and as a brother of the craft, you are entering a portal. Okay, you are now entering a portal, and you are being guided, or may I say shepherded, by that person who's going to lead you around as far as understanding your process for which you are going through. Okay, now in some of the old Masonic rituals, it says follow your God and fear no danger. In the new rituals, it says just follow your guide and feel no danger. Now, if you know anything about Psalms 23, if I'm not mistaken, it is where it is what we call the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, thy be thy name, thy kingdom come. It gives you that whole rundown. That is when you enter the portals of Freemasonry and the Eastern Star on an esoteric level. Okay? But many of us don't see it that way, only because we believe we're just joining this so-called fraternal order of the Eastern Star and this so-called Masonic craft where, you know, it's about friendship, brotherly love. It is, but it's much deeper than that. It is so much deeper than that. As you begin your journey in the Order of the Eastern Star and Freemasonry, as you begin that journey, here's what you should have an understanding about, okay? For one thing, it is about you. It looks like you, it feels like you, it is about you. Your journey within the labyrinth of life as a woman, your journey through youth, manhood, and age, okay? Because in the American European style of Freemasonry, we know that the Bible is open on a certain scripture. But in other culture of In other cultures of Freemasonry, it is not. It is not. If you go outside of the United States and you visit another Masonic lodge, where the scriptures are here are not there. They are not. It's totally different. Okay? Just so you know, it is just what it is. It is just different. It is not to say that it's regular and irregular. It's just different. It's not what they practice there. It is what you practice here. Okay? So to everyone that is coming on, thank you very much. Brother Morpheus, thank you. I appreciate that. Light Traveler, thank you. I appreciate that. So as we begin, like I said before, Freemasonry is 99% spiritual, 1% physical. Brother Jonathan, yes, you're absolutely right. You are so right. But we're gonna keep on with this conversation. So as you begin this thing, this journey we call Freemasonry, you enter the portals of Freemasonry. Yes, it is very, 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 very spiritual. If anybody tell you it's not, they're lying to you. If anybody tells you that Freemasonry and the Eastern Star is not a spiritual journey, entering these portals of symbolism and esoteric and esoteric, they are lying to you. They don't know. They don't know. They really don't know. I'm just saying that because based on my 32 years of experience, it didn't happen overnight for me. I didn't walk in and say, oh, no. Because the old heads at that time, they weren't into this type of masonry. It was about community service. It was about making sure that your brother was okay, your sister's okay. They were not into this. This thing we're talking about now, was only discussed amongst a few. Okay, everybody in my jurisdiction does not get into the esoteric Freemasonry. They don't, but 80% of us do. 80% of us do here in this jurisdiction get into it because we see it from a whole nother perspective. This is why in the opening ceremonies that we do here is different. It's not that you're going to open the Lesters or the Duncans and find and say, oh, this is how y'all do it. No, that's not how we do it. We want Freemasonry in the Order of the Eastern Star. I know I can't say the Order of the Eastern Star. I can't say that because Grand Matron would be like, what? But I can say this in regards to the Freemasons here in this jurisdiction. We want it to feel and look like us. So when you say that, what does that mean? Well, I wanted to feel the esoteric side of Freemasonry. I wanted to feel the ancestry side of Freemasonry. So what does the ancestry side of Freemasonry look like? This is where you learn to summon the ancestors. And I say that because, did you know that in the building of King Solomon's temple, he had a ring? He had a ring. And those who worked upon the temple, each night the demons would come and visit and take their food. So King Solomon asked those who worked on the temple, why were they so thin? You know, because he served them. He gave them food. He gave them whatever they needed. And he told them, they said at night, the demons come and take our food. He said, well, I'm going to give you a ring. That's why rings are very important in the Masonic era. And there's only 2 times you should be able to receive a Masonic ring. One is when you are a class of the Lodge of Affection, and one when you are a 33rd. Those are the only 2 times you should actually receive a Masonic ring. Although we know that we have the Master Mason rings, we have the Royal Arch rings, there are so many others, but it is very important to understand that. So in the summons of the ring, the King Solomon gave the young man the ring. He said, when the demon comes, you show this ring and you summons him. And in the process of summoning this demon, you bring him to me. Now, you want to know where I found this information at? It was a book that was given to me from the brother from Keystone Grand Lodge out of North Carolina. And it was called King Solomon's in the demons or something like that. Let me get this book for you. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get this book. Okay, I'm back. I wasn't able to find those books, but I was able to find some other books here. So, with that being said, I'm back. So, they was able to summons the demons. So, what King Solomon did in building the kingdom, in building the temple, and some of you probably have this book already, he was able to summon each demon according to its skills. That's a fact. He was able to summon each demon according to the skills. Greetings to all. Welcome back. Hey, appreciate it there, Reginald. Appreciate it. You know? So what he did, every time a demon came along, he summons that demon. He captured specifically demons for details for the temple. That's why the temple is not made by hand. Okay? Now, some of you are saying, well, Brother August, that don't sound quite right. When you understand the power of the ring and what it meant to King Solomon, the one that wanted only knowledge, you know, in regards to questioning when God said, well, what do you want? You know, I think it was knowledge. It could have been wisdom. But in that process, in King Solomon building and working on the temple, this is what you get. He was able to summon the demons to assist and aid him in doing what he was doing. And this is where understanding and how to summon the ancestors. Some of you may say, what? Summoning the ancestors? Yeah, absolutely. You never thought about summoning the ancestors? You never thought about that? You don't know how to do that? Yeah. I'm gonna tell you how to summon the ancestors. It's nothing to play with. You got to make sure you're ready for it. A lot of people aren't ready for this journey. Entering the portals of Freemasonry, Eastern Star, people are just coming in. We're not protecting that sacred organization. And it is a sacred organization to be protected, because we was once not allowed to be a part of it because it was all about us in the beginning. But since some of us are now here and feel like we have arrived, you have no clue. But I'm gonna share some books with you real quick. And these books are about Black authors, okay? Black authors, all right? So, it's 1, 2, 3. I received these books about a week or so ago. I hadn't been able to really open them and read them, but a brother sent me these books, and I want to tell him I appreciate him. I really, really do. This book right here. This is volume 1, okay? And the author is Matub Ashby. That's Muataashby. This, in my beginning to read, is a good book, and it really opened my eyes to a lot of different things. And he has a volume 1, a volume 2, a volume 3, and a volume 4. I don't see the volume 2, but this is volume 3 right here. And now this is by a Black author, okay? And this is volume 3, and this is volume 4. I will promote your book. I have no reason not to promote books by Black authors, okay? These are some very, very good books. You can see his name here, right here. That's his name right there, okay? So reach out to this brother in regards to his books, because I have not yet broke them open to really get into them. But I just want to tell him thank you. I appreciate him, and begin my journey into a better understanding of Freemasonry and the Order of the Eastern Star. Now, getting back, let me see, how can that be shown? So getting back to, how does one summons the ancestors? How do you do that? How do you summon the ancestors? Well, let me tell you exactly how do you do this, okay? First of all, your mind must be clear about what you want your ancestors to do, okay? Your mind must be clear in regards to what you want your ancestors to do. Now, I will tell you this. If you want to call into the show tonight, you can do that. That number is 619-286-0642. If you want to call in, please, you're welcome to do so. That number is 619-286-0642, and we can have this conversation right now. So, with that being said, in summoning the ancestors and understanding what do you want them to do, you have to have them to want to do something specifically for you, okay? Specifically for you. And I say that because in my own experience in summoning the ancestors, I've done it. I have summoned the ancestors. You probably say, Brother Hawkins, you lost it. No, I have not. Because I understand that Freemasonry is a portal. I understand that the Order of the Eastern Star is a portal. I understand that there's esoteric and esoteric symbolism throughout the Freemasons in the Order of the Eastern Star. Greetings. Hello.
Hey, Linda.
Nope, wrong number. But anyway, so what I began to understand in this journey is that entering these portals of Freemasonry or the Eastern Star is it is a spiritual journey, as the brother said just a little while ago. It's 99% spiritual journey, and when you understand that, then you, in the end, or during this process, you're going to have an understanding of how to summon the ancestors and why do you need an altar. Most Black people are terrified, because they have told us voodoo and voodoo is bad. That's bad. This is what they've told us all this time. You know, you can talk to Jesus, who you've never seen, but you can't call your mother, your auntie, your grandfather, your brother, or your sister. You have seen them, and now they're gone to be with the ancestors. But when I call upon them, you telling me I'm crazy? You have to be very specific in asking the ancestors for things that you so desire and need and want them to do. Even for those of you who are Christians, it says that when you talk to Christ, you have to be specific in regards to what you want Christ to do for you. Am I right? Somebody can talk back to me. If you want to call in tonight and have this conversation, you're certainly welcome to do so. That number is 619-286-0642. And we can have this conversation, because I would tell you this. Most of you will never, ever have this type of conversation in your lodges, in your chapters too. Because it's spook. Y'all are spooked with it. The Indians during a time of battle summons the ancestors. My Latin brothers and sisters, they have what you call the Day of the Dead. They summons the ancestors. We who are in the West America, we who are in America, African Americans, we are terrified of summoning our ancestors. So am I at Tribune School? Okay. Thank you for putting that phone number up in there. So we are terrified. What I want you to understand is that when you have an altar before you, and you go before that altar and you call upon your ancestors, be specific about what you want, because they're going to ask you what you want. In my own personal journey in understanding how to summon my ancestors, they asked me, what do you want? What do you want? And I told them specifically what I wanted. Now, some of you are like, well, $1 billion, $1 million, I want you to do. No. It's much more deeper than that. It's much more deeper than that. You think of angels. Your ancestors are your angels. That's who watches over you at night. No, Brother Hawkins, you lost it. You lost it. No, that ain't you. Most of us are standing on and leaning on the prayers of our ancestors, those who are gone before us, our mothers, our fathers, our sisters and brothers who have passed along, who have prayed for us. We are the bearers of their prayers. We are. But see, the thing is, when most people pray for you, who are they sending? Who are they sending? Man, I'm going to pray for you. Well, okay, so you're going to pray for me. So who are you sending? Are you sending your mother to watch over me? Your father? Who are you sending to watch over me during my time of healing, during my time of being ill? Because that's the first thing we would say. That's what we'll tell people. Oh, man, I got you. I'm going to pray for you. Well, who are you sending? I'm praying in the name of Jesus. Okay. Have you ever met him? I'm just saying these things because I need you to think in regards to entering the portals of Freemasonry, entering the portals of the Order of the Eastern Star, understanding how to summon the ancestors. This all comes together because it is a spiritual journey. It is that journey that is going to take you through life where you will be able to travel in foreign places and countries. That's a fact. Because Freemasonry is not practiced the same way everywhere. It is not like that. It's beautiful, but it's not practiced the same way. In some lodges, you don't enter the same way in some lodges. Which Jesus, absolutely. Which Jesus. But see, when you say that, Brother Jonathan, which Jesus, a lot of people be like, what do you mean? There was like 13 Jesus. Look up the name Barabbas and see what it means. So who did they really let go? I'm just saying. So when we read these different holy books, we got to go much farther than what is actually given before us. And Jesus said. Were they there when Jesus said it? They said that, hey, and Jesus said. No, this is much deeper than that. I would tell you this, and I've said this before. The Bible is an astrology book dealing with the celestial body. You remove the Jesus and put in the S-U-N instead of the S-O-N. Remove the 12 disciples and put in the zodiac signs. It's much deeper than that. But we've been told that that's some spooky stuff. You don't do that. That's what we've been taught. And that is the difference in understanding this very secret or sacred society for which many of us are a part of. It's beautiful. And you've heard me say that before. You know, I enjoy it because I've learned so much from different brothers in coming across well-learned brothers within the craft. It's beautiful. But we have to understand that. We really got to understand that. Okay, so let me see. Calling up your ancestors. Tune in to the negative situation. Believe it or not, I have been attacked by spiritual entities before, and it's possible that they will be upset when you call them. Okay. T. Terrell, that's because what is your intentions when you call them? When you call your ancestors, what are your intentions? Because you're opening up a portal. That's what you're doing. You're opening up a portal. You're opening up a door. The process is, are you willing to walk into that door and say, I want to speak to such and such person, and I need for you to do X, Y, and Z. You have to be specific. You just can't go in and say, hey, mama, how you doing? I miss you, blah, blah, blah. You have to be specific. You have to be specific. Once again, if you want to call in tonight, and it's quiet right now, 619-286-0642. If you want to call in tonight, you know, I certainly would appreciate it. And we can have this conversation because many of you probably after today will not have this conversation with anybody in your Masonic Lodge or your chapter. That's a fact. Come on, talk back to me, somebody. I'm just saying. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. To understand the mere fact that you're able and you have the capabilities of summoning your ancestors. Oh man, why be afraid? We are so afraid of the unknown. Peace and blessings, Brother Jonathan. All right. But we are so afraid of the unknown. You mentioned life, your moment life coaching. Come on with it. Why y'all are nice night. Brother, thanks. You, Brother Hawkins. Light, I really want to pay attention to, so I will listen tonight. Oh, that's no problem, no problem. How to draw art school, okay. How to draw, confirm it, true ancestry. And if people on earth can have the same name, how do you know it's really your ancestors? Let me tell you how to draw. Yeah, there are people that got same names, but you know how your grandmama smell. You know how your mother smell. You know their voice. You know that. That's the difference. When summoning the ancestors, you know, you will be able to hear. You will be in tune. See, vibrations is another thing. You will be in tune to what's actually occurring and happening. You will be able to call upon, you know, wait, Big Mama got a name. Big Mama Jane, Big Mama Teen, Mama Teen. They got names, and those names are specifically geared for them. They do. You know it. Your mother, your father, your sisters, your brothers, those who are gone before you, your aunts, those who are gone before you. As I said earlier, it is by their prayers when they was here on this rock that they prayed for you. And now that they're gone, you act like you terrified, that you can't summon them, that you can't talk to them. But you will talk to a Jesus that you never met. You'll call upon a Moses that you know nothing about. See, I don't get that. I mean, granted, I was there at one time. I was there one time. But now, as I've matured, as I've grown, as I began to read, as I've come across other books that has enlightened me on the prospects of having an altar dedicated to my ancestors, okay? Being able to summons and talk with my mother, my father who's gone, his mother who's gone. They have certain names that only you know. You know, so when you're saying, well, you know, if I what if I call and somebody else answers? No, you calling a specific ancestor, and you want them to do a specific job. Okay. Remember the words of wisdom from your elders. Oh yeah, of course. You know. So as we begin this journey and entering the portals of Freemasonry, one on the left, one on the right, and you begin to walk around the sun, that point which is in the center of the lodge, and you begin to stop by the various stations, the various light makers, then you're going to get a different perspective. Just like when the sisters of the Order of the Eastern Star enter the portal of the sisterhood, and they begin that journey in life through the octagon. Okay, they're introduced to 5 different females, the ones that they're going to be facing in their life's journey. In the Eastern Star works, those sisters that represents those 5 herons, you're going to see them along the way in life. Just as in Masonry, when you walk through the portals, you're going to see that young man, that young man that will have that zeal and that youth. You're going to see that middle-aged man, that man he's in his middle age, he can sit back and he's like, you know what, blah, blah, blah. And you're going to see that old man. His hair is going to turn gray. He's going to be wearing glasses. He's going to be limped over. He's not going to be able to jump as high. He's going to be afraid of heights. Go read Ecclesiastes 12. That's where you're going to meet that old man, peeping out of windows, afraid to go out at night. See, here's the thing. Young people ain't afraid to go out at night. Old people are. Go read it. I'm just letting you know, brothers of the craft, sisters of the order, being a Mason, being an Eastern Star is something very serious. And it is a spiritual journey. It is a journey that many don't make. And when I say they don't make it, it's because they don't get to the point of understanding what this thing is all about. And I would tell you this, and I've said it before, even with Manly P. Hall and all the knowledge that he was able to share along the way. Once Manly P. Hall became a Mason and an honorary 33rd, you didn't see him publicly lecture anymore. It was a wrap. Read his works. I'll have to give it to Manly P. Hall. You know, there are others, but we talk specifically about Manly because Manly was one that was lecturing before he became a Mason. Okay? He was out there doing that thing. Did you just drink from your right hand? Oh my God. No comment. But anyway, as we begin this journey, we must understand the importance of it being more of a spiritual journey than anything else. It's nothing to play with. That's why it's important that you do not allow individuals to come into your chapter or your lodge and tear it up. It is very important that you protect your lodge, your chapter. I don't care if you got 10 members in your lodge, you got 8 in your chapter. I don't care. Protect it at all costs because people can come in with hidden agendas to tear it up. You know, let's go out and party tonight. Bling, bling, bling. Hey, did John go to the lodge meeting? I didn't see him there. Oh, he hadn't made it home yet. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. It ain't my fault. See, you shouldn't have been using the lodge as your outing. You shouldn't have been using the chapter meeting as your outing, sister. This is how the Order of the Eastern Star Freemasons get that bad rap. Oh man, you know, he was talking about going to the lodge meeting. I saw him down at the club. It's okay to go to a spot afterwards. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go in fellowship afterwards. I'm saying that when you say that you're going to your lodge meeting or your chapter meeting, that should be the destination. That should be your destination. If you're going to be true to what you say you are and who you say you are, that should be your destination. Every Freemason should have that book. Absolutely, Brother Jonathan. Absolutely. You know, absolutely. Everyone should. As you continue the journey within Freemasonry and entering those portals. Greetings.
Hello, Brother Hawkins. This is Brother Delvin Alfalfa, and I'm calling on behalf of King Solomon Lodge number 8, PHA in Kentucky.
Well, welcome. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, and again, it is a pleasure to speak to you, and it's even more of a pleasure to speak to you on your show.
Well, the pleasure is all mine. I appreciate you calling in and participating. So what's your question?
Well, actually, brother, I wanted to comment on the idea of giving ancestors their space and being able to accept ancestors into your life and to give reverence to them. And when people who are typically atheists speak to me in general and say, how is it you can believe in life after death? It doesn't make sense. And I say, well, if you look at it scientifically, to me it makes perfect sense, because energy can't be created nor destroyed, but instead it's transferred.
Teach.
So this thing that animates us, once this physical corporeal form is no longer an animation, that energy is somewhere. Where is that? It isn't gone. It has to be transferred. That's science. And so all of your ancestors, that energy is still there in the universe.
I would tell you this. I'm going to share this with you. Specifically in regards to the black man and black woman. No disrespect to anybody else. The reason you are so important is because of the DNA that you carry, who you are. And I say that because Superman, use Superman for instance. If you know anything about Superman, the reason you can't kill Superman is because he carries the DNA of every ancestor that was on his planet. And the sun gives him the energy and to conquer and to overcome. Even after he's been shot with kryptonite, the closer he gets to the sun, the more life he gains. Tell me, what other people does that represent?
Speak on it, brother.
So when you get pulled over and they see you and they got to call backup, he's 5'5", wet with 168 pounds, but they call him for backup. And you're probably saying, why are you going that direction? Because I want you to understand who you are when people approach you. See, We are what you call trendsetters. Black people are trendsetters. Period. Bar none. Anything we do, anything we say, everybody else follows, but we don't understand that. We're trendsetters. The way we dress, the way we walk, the way we talk. We're trendsetters. Give me 5. You jiving me, man. The language changes over the years because of us. Give me a shout out. Everybody else starts saying, give me a shout out. What's up? Everybody else still saying, what's up? What's happening? Everybody else starts saying, what's happening? You know, you start sagging, everybody else starts sagging. But sagging is not the thing that we need to do. I'm just saying. We're trendsetters. Rapping, country music, folk music, blues, later became R&B. We trendsetters. But when you understand that who you are and the gifts that you have inside of you that you just give so freely, you just toss your gifts to the swine like it's nothing. Even in the scripture says don't be giving your gifts to the swine, but we do it because of who we are. We have so much to give. We change the narrative. No matter where we go and who we're around, we change the narrative. You go to Japan, they're looking at you to have a tail. You know why? Because people have said so much that black people have a tail. So they're looking at you. They're looking at, what tail? I don't see no tail. We trendsetters. That's what we are. That's who we are. We are super beings. But don't be fooled. I'm just saying. Go ahead, brother. Talk.
I'm just listening, brother. I'm just a fly on the wall in this thing, trying to absorb what you're putting down.
Well, I certainly appreciate it. And the mere fact that you called in, I just want to say thank you. You know, but we have to be able to realize who we are along this thing. This is what pisses me off so much in regards to Black Masons, period. This thing that we call Black Masons, it really agitates me in such a way that it blows my mind on how we can see each other, but yet when the others come around, we be like, but you can't be that way with me. It bothers me. But I've learned that person hadn't yet matured in Freemasonry. So therefore, he or she may not be there yet. Where I'm at, others hadn't arrived. So I can't just look at you and be like, oh, I got to look at you and say, you'll get there one day. That's how I have to do it. You know, your moment.
I do have a question, Brother Hawkins.
Go ahead, talk to me.
Just thinking about the general dead state of the mentality of Black folks these days.
Mm-hmm.
It seems, just thinking of when you talked about us being trendsetters, I was thinking about it that it also happens in a negative way, whereas we as a people are largely embracing a lot of negativity that we shouldn't. We're starting to make things that are negative seem positive. When we have a lot of young people doing a lot of wrong things leading to a bunch of wrong ends. And so what is it that, because obviously as Masons, we have an obligation to these young people to get them to see a better way. All that being said, what do you think should be done on the local lodge levels in order to try to improve this situation in the community?
As I've said before, be the example. What better way to show anybody and to be the example. You want to know what a mother looked like? Be the example of a mother. You want to know what a father looked like? Be the example of a father. You know what a father should do. Sisters, you know what a mother should do. Daughters, you know what a daughter should do. Be the example. If you can't be the example, then you need not to even be a part of this fraternal order. Plain and simple. Yes, I know that there are rules and regulations for every jurisdiction that you must abide by, because that's where you reside as a Mason. Got it. But on the flip side of that, there are principles and standards across the board in Freemasonry that we all must adhere to. Brotherly love, relief, and truth. That crosses all jurisdictional boundaries. Period. And to the Order of the Eastern Star, you've clearly said that you will go and rush to the aid of your sister, even with your purse. So those things themselves cross the boundaries, unites us all, if we choose to unite, if we choose to accept the mere fact that this is who we are. This is the direction that we must go. You want to influence a young person? Be the example. If you're always around that young man, you know that he's your nephew, he's your whatever he is to you, be the example. Pull him to the side, talk to him. Tell him about who he is, because he doesn't know. A lot of us don't know who we are until somebody tells us. When Martin Luther King, after Martin Luther King met with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he was a dead man. Period. After he met with him, you can go and read his speeches. They started to radically change. He was a dead man. He started talking about the Vietnam War. Why are we over there? Why are we fighting for a country that doesn't fight for us? He started sounding like, well, damn, really? He started talking about economic withdrawal. Let's take our money. By then it was too late, because we have already ran into the house that was on fire. As he said, you know what, damn, we had everything we needed, everything. And we gave it all away to be part of a system that did not want us in the beginning. That's a fact. We gave everything away to be part of a system that did not want us, and today they still don't want you. But yet most of us want to run in there anyway. Call it what you want.
Brother Hawkins, it is always a pleasure, but I don't want to tie up the lines. I'm sure there are plenty of brothers out there who have many questions for you. I'm going to take this time and let those brothers chime in, but thank you for this opportunity, and I look forward to talking to you in the future.
Oh, I appreciate you, and thank you very much.
Peace,
thanks for
brother.
calling. Peace. So as we begin this journey into the portals of Freemasonry Eastern Stars, and we begin to understand exactly who we are on this journey, you're going to meet with resistance. You're going to meet with those who say, man, you have lost your mind. You're going to meet with sisters who are like, oh, girl, you tripping. You're going to meet with them. And like the brother said earlier, energy doesn't die. It transfers. It doesn't. You are a walking energy. This, and I can prove it to you. This is why some people have what you call instant combustion. Boom. All of a sudden, they're walking down the street and they just blow up. Boom. Energy. That's what we are. That's who we are. You keep thinking and believing in some of the myths. I'm just saying. Keep thinking and believing in some of the myths. Ask yourself, what was MLK name changed from Michael to Martin? And why was King family being investigated 50 years before the ML King was born? Interesting. That's interesting. Change from Michael to Martin. Well, if you know anything about Martin, who wrote the theses and put it on the door of the church, he was a rebel. You can correct me if I'm wrong. You can say, no, that's not quite sure. Look, you can be peaceful, you're a threat. Okay? You could be nonviolent, you're a threat. You could be one that speak out, you're a threat. No matter what you do, you are considered a threat. This is why it's important to be able to connect with the ancestors and call them by name. This is why it's important to understand that Freemasonry is a portal that you enter and become enlightened on those things that are around you and dealing with symbolism. It is important that when you become a member of the Order of the Eastern Star, knowing that you're going to face those 5 herons in your life and understanding the lambent that you walk and that no man walks alone. Nobody walks by themselves. This is why it's important when you ever been somewhere and you walking and you know people who may be coming towards you may cross the street. You're not walking by yourself. You're not. Plain and simple. Peace, peace, and blessings. What's up, Chef? Oh, man. Someone would be beloved brothers. Maybe after school mentoring program for young black men before they get caught up. I can, yes. Mentoring our youth is very important. Mentoring our youth is very important. Let me tell you, and most of you can attest to this. When, as a child coming home from school and bringing your parents and bringing your friends over to your home, okay, they became part of your family. So therefore, if your mother or your father was able to discipline them in such a way till you were their child. As a father, I've had kids to come and stay in my home until they finish high school, because they came home with my son one day and then go back home to their own home because they felt that this was more of a stable home. And I got to meet their parents, and their parents were like, shit, if he want to stay there. And he stayed. I had a young lady to do the same thing. As a matter of fact, it's so crazy that my daughter brought a young lady here to my home. She stayed the night. The next day she got up and she went and had an abortion. I had no clue. But when I found out, it broke my heart. The mere fact that a young lady came, stayed in my home, slept in my bed with my daughter because that was her friend. And the next day, she goes and has an abortion. I cried like a baby, only because I felt that it was my responsibility to talk to that child before she went and made that decision. As a parent. So we have to set the example. We have to be able to talk to the youth and not be afraid of the youth. Most of us are afraid of the youth. Let's just be honest. We're afraid of them. But if you talk to them with some respect, I'm not saying that all of them are going to be willing, but if you talk to them with some respect, you never know. Taking our clothing off and leaving nothing that represents the world will produce the knowing. Interesting. Does anyone have a KOP program? If so, what are you doing? I don't know. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know what a KOP program is. If you want to put in what it is, you know, you never know. You never know. Very interesting. So look, we've been on here long enough. It's good to be back, and I appreciate it. And I will tell you this, those who are coming to fellowship with us next month in Las Vegas, I'm looking forward to meeting and greeting you. We're doing a raising in the desert, and it's going to be a great and wonderful time. It is going to be hosted by True Kinsman Lodge #1 out of Las Vegas. And it's going to be beautiful. I want to send a big shout out to United as One, Masonic Lodge #15 over in Trinidad. I want to send a big shout out to Mystic Lodge 169 over in the UK. I want to send a big shout out to King of the Valley Lodge out of New Orleans. I can't think of his number right now. It escapes me. I want to send a big shout out to Progressive Grand Lodge out of Atlanta. Melvin, bruh, you know, we coming through. We coming through. And I can't wait to do our drive across country. So we're getting ready to make that happen. Brother Charles, when you have a chance, just give me a call after the show, brother, and we'll have that conversation. So I'm going to say peace and be well. And remember, be the example. Hey, stay out the bushes, keep your light on. I appreciate each of you. God bless.